Welcome back, everyone, to episode 4. Glad to have Otmar back at the table. Um, Quick recap from last session. Last we left off, we saw South being carted away by a couple of acquaintances to his execution. They climbed into Ophelia, his beloved tractor, and made off towards the crash site where the other hostages were being held and where they had been presumably executed as well. Thankfully, for South, along the way, they were attacked by strange beetles flying in from the grasslands that attacked their vehicle. And as they did so, some of them popped and acid started burning through poor Ophelia. They eventually made their way into the cabin. South, you fled the scene as your two captors were soon disintegrated by these popping beetles in the cabin. Unfortunately, Ophelia was also likely destroyed in the process, at least badly damaged in the process. However, South, you started making your way across the plains in search of your friends. You made your way to the crash site and you found tracks leading off into the grasslands towards what you knew to be the abandoned neuroplasm plant. It was a long journey, but you spent several days getting there. Recall that on this planet, a day is 2 hours. So, after having spent several days making your way towards the neuroplasm plant, you arrived. In the meantime, those of you who were already there seeking shelter and refuge from the cooperative realized soon after that you were not alone in this so supposedly abandoned neuroplasm plant. The floor, the basement, or the subfloor of this plant was covered in this kind of goo like substance and littered with what looked to be these round, perhaps like what's medicine ball sized spheres. Not quite sure what they were. They looked like they reminded you of eggs. And two of the survivors from the crash, who happened to be biologists and xenobiologists, were extraordinarily interested in understanding what this life form was, or if it was a life form. So they donned their hazmat suits and went down there to check it out. In the meantime, Benji, you went off scouting a little bit and found a control room, within which I believe you found the lights to the facility. You managed to initiate power and bring the lights back on. However, Benji, you were not alone in that control room, and you saw something dark and menacing crawl out of the shadows behind you, making strange click, click, click noises as it did so. You turned to see an enormous beetle, uh, probably roughly the size of a small pony. It is huge. You quickly ran out to try to warn the other people within the facility uh, when things started to converge. Not only did you have this enormous beetle crawling after you from the control room, but you also realized there was a ship incoming. South, as you approach the facility, you see the ship kind of flying overhead. You recognized it as the cooperative. As it landed nearby, on a nearby landing pad by the plant, it was soon assailed by what looked to be a horde, a swarm of beetles erupting from the rooftops of this facility, much like cockroaches emerging when light is flashed on them. And it's quickly swarmed their vehicle. You heard gunfire erupt from those who were exiting the craft at that time. And just like poor Ophelia back near Baxter's Reach, this vessel, this space vessel, this SEV, was being dissolved by all these popping beetles across its surface. So that's where we start tonight. Otmar, you were not here last session, so describe for me what you were up to.
Yeah, so Otmar definitely got a queasy feeling when he saw what he thought were eggs, and they seem to be intact. They seem to be potentially alive, and so he immediately sort of began to look around furtively for the brood master, the brood mother, whoever was responsible for this, because it wouldn't just be left here, would it? And so he started creeping around catwalks and corridors, trying to get on the trail of this potential threat.
All right, Otmar, I'm going to have you make a quick roll for me, please.
Sure.
Since you're doing a little bit of scouting, I'd like you to make an observation check. Oh boy. As you make your way through this abandoned plant, knowing that these eggs or whatever they are in the subfloor did not just sprout out of nothing there, that there must be something that put them there, you begin to make your way through crawlways and high catwalks around the perimeter of this facility. And as you do so, you get the uneasy feeling that you're not alone. You can hear the sounds of what sounds to be insects, many large insects kind of skittering around above you and in the shadows. Occasionally, you catch a glimpse of one that they look like beetles, uh, but they're not like small little beetles. These things are about the size of a football, maybe a little bigger. And there are many of them. And it is about this time where you start getting a little. Well, describe to me how Otmar feels when he sees this, because you have a bit of panic going on here.
There's a lot of them, and none of them look like they have a brood. They're probably the kinds of things that come out of those eggs, and so he's even more concerned, and starting, quite frankly, to wonder how he's going to get through this.
Right. You find yourself back on the main catwalk that kind of stretches from one end of this plant to the other. You know your friends are on the far side. You see a few of them clustered around an open door towards the exit, the light kind of streaming in behind them in this dim interior. And you see about halfway along, cutting you off from your friends, this enormous beetle. The brood mother, which you were looking for, has emerged. And she does not seem happy that there are trespassers in her den. Before we move to some battle maps here, is there anything anyone else would like to do at this time before we get started? All right, I'll switch to the battle map then. This is going to be fun. First real combat of the campaign, and you guys are caught between a rock and a hard place. So this is a large-ish map. You can scroll out if you like. I'm just going to do that on my map here. Where to go? We can all see where you guys are at. So you guys are all kind of clustered in this little vestibule. Most of you, anyway. Lisa has just been pulled up. She's badly burned with acid on one side, barely conscious. You see Otmar appear at the far end of the corridor with this brood mother between you and him. Outside, you hear the sounds of gunfire, and you hear the ship landing, and you hear the sounds of what sounds to be like a swarm of insects buzzing about. I'm going to have you all draw cards for initiative. Give me 1 second. I'll put you guys all in combat here. Aiko, you're up first.
So because I don't have a gun, what, I guess.
What can you do?
Are we just running? Like, are we allowed to do that?
Yeah, you can certainly run.
All right, I'm just going to scream to everybody. All right, let's go. And I'm gonna go as far away as I can.
You're going out the door?
Yeah, and I'm gonna mention to Ezra he can stay back if he wants.
All right. So moving from one zone to the other is a fast action. If you want to move a second zone, that would be your slow action on top of that. So you can move up to 2 zones away. Moving out the door will be 1 zone. If you want to move like down here, that would be into the second zone.
Would I be able to do maybe some sort of interesting interaction where I'll use one action to move, but can I use my other action to maybe like inspire the rest of the group to maybe move one extra distance for the next round?
Do you have that special talent?
Oh, I didn't know that was a special talent. I'm just
You can use a command
Sure.
skill.
Yeah, I have 2 points in that. I can give that a try. Oops.
Oh my gosh.
Take the first one only. We can delete the second one.
Okay.
Oh, no, delete mess. So the first one was a roll stress. Okay.
You are totally panicked. You are fleeing anyway.
Yep. My fear can inspire you all.
All right. You just can't take it anymore. You must flee to a safe place and refuse to leave it. You won't attack anyone and won't attempt anything dangerous. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, you're just getting the hell out of there.
I would like to clarify that the type of panic he's experiencing is similar to what Marge Simpson did when she pulled her car over on the road and just blocked all traffic and was screaming in the car. That's how he's panicking. It's a rage type of panic.
All right. One thing you'll notice as you exit the building is you see, not too far away, that ship that has landed covered in these beetles. And you can see them melting through. It's almost like watching popcorn as they explode along the hull of the ship. And as they explode, they leave behind this acidic goo that just kind of starts eating away at the metal hull. Running outside of it, you see about half a dozen soldiers surrounding what looks to be their captain as they try to make their way up towards you. All right, so Aiko, that is your turn. That will bring us to Pauper Queen.
Was that still a success though? Do they get to move one extra zone if they want to?
Do we have to make a panic roll? Because it says, but every friendly character who sees you run must make an immediate panic roll.
Yeah, that is it. So that you were in that room. So that
Okay.
would be south. South, you have to make a panic roll. You were in the same zone.
You weren't inspired by my speech?
Obviously not.
We're all gonna die!
You lose your next slow action. So, yeah, that's what happens to south. Ezra, you are not, as a synthetic, you are not susceptible to panic.
Mhm.
So you don't have to roll. Pauper Queen sees the folks by the entrance. Does not really notice you yet, Otmar. Lisa's closest. It's gonna pounce on Lisa. All right, so it pounces upon Lisa with its 2 like pincer-like forearms. It jabs straight into her, and it did 2 successes, so that's going to be a total of 3 damage. She has no armor. Her hazmat suit is gone, and she is dead as this Pauper Queen just eviscerates her as it pounces on her. That brings us to Ezra.
All right. Is there a door between the office space that we're in and the catwalk?
There is a door. Yes, there is a door there, but it is open.
All right. I will move here, put my back up against the wall, and say, "Get through the door," and get ready to close the door once the remaining survivors get through, but the bug doesn't.
Otmar's going to charge. He's going to use his fast action to move 1 zone south.
Okay.
and his slow to move additional.
All right. So you are right behind the broodmother.
Oh
Oh.
god. Oh baby.
All right. That brings us to
Does
Alex.
he get to move one more because of my rousing speech?
You didn't hear it.
What did you say in your rousing speech? I want to know. What did you say as you're fleeing?
That's the biggest thing I've ever seen, and we're all gonna die! Run! And correct.
I will allow that for people who are in your own zone, but Otmar was on the other end of the catwalk, 2 zones away, so he would not have been able to benefit from that, unfortunately. Alex, seeing his friend and colleague ripped apart by this beetle, this enormous beetle that is bearing down on both you and himself and Gideon, is just going to say, fuck this noise, I'm out of here, and he's going to run out.
Gideon's definitely in protector mode, so he's gonna... Does he see Otmar on the other side of the popper?
Otmar, are you trying to be stealthy at all?
He was trying to be a bit stealthy. He's not doing a battle cry as he's charging. He's like swiftly moving with purpose, right in the middle of the catwalk, hunched over.
Okay. If you were going to be moving stealthily, I would have had you make a mobility roll, and you would have only been able to move 1 zone.
All right. So in that case, let's keep it consistent. So he was moving quickly. He could have been potentially spotted.
Okay. So yeah, Gideon, you would have seen Otmar running towards the beetle.
Yeah, then in that case, I'm gonna try... I'm definitely gonna help Benji kind of try and get out of there. So I want to start jabbing at the popper queen with my stun baton just to kind of try and help Otmar kind of get around it if he needs to, and also kind of help buy some time for everybody else.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a d6 for me, please. All right, a mild shock. So this is a little different. So how many dice did you roll? 4 plus 4. Roll 4 more dice, please.
All D6s?
All d6s, yeah.
Okay. What? Oh, I see what I did.
All right, we're going to count that one, so roll 3 more. There you go.
There it goes.
Oh, no. Okay, so you got 2 more stress from that. No more successes. So you do 1, 2, 3 points of damage to the creature. It will roll its armor. No successes. So it takes the full 3 points. And you can see as you lunge forward with your stun baton, with your zapper, it recoils in obvious pain. You've seen what happens when you zap Jarvis with it. He obviously does not like it. And you just jab this thing straight into its face. And it visibly recoils in a great deal of pain. That was a good hit. Anything else? That was your slow action. You still have your fast.
I'm going to hang out there, but I'm going to hang out there at least until Benji gets out.
All right. Gonna hold your ground then. All right. Popper Queen did not like that, so it's going to turn its attention to you and attack you, Gideon.
Okay, yeah, fair. It's fair.
All right, so that's 1 hit. It does the same kind of attack on you as it did to Lisa. You will be taking 2 points of damage. Do you have any armor?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Do you have the resilient talent?
I do, yes. Roll for strength. Anytime you suffer damage, you can't push the roll, which does not count as an action. For every success you roll, 1 point of damage is eliminated. If all damage eliminated, you suffer none at all.
Whoa, nice.
Get it.
It's a little OP.
Right? So I roll for strength.
Yep.
No. Roll stress dice. No, we don't want to roll stress. Well, Do I roll my stress dice with this or no?
No.
Okay.
Just strength. Oh.
Grr.
Nothing. So you take the full 2 points of damage, and on top of that, you have dropped your zapper. Now, I'll say that the grating in this catwalk is not thick enough for you for your thing to fall through, though. So you're safe. You're lucky there. So it just kind of clatters onto the catwalk, and that brings us to south.
Shooting is a slow action, isn't it?
It is.
I guess south is just going to. But I can still technically move, though, right? Or fast action is like running through a door.
Moving one zone.
I'm actually not going to do anything. I'm just going to stay here.
You're not going to fire your weapon?
Can I shoot? I thought that was a slow action.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're panicked. Yeah. Unfortunately, not. You can't. You can take aim though as a fast action.
Yeah, I'll take aim at it. I'll move like right here, and then I'll take. Oh, well, that will count as a fast action. That won't it? That's right.
Yep.
All right. Well, never mind. I'll just sit right here and try to take aim at it. Yeah.
All right. So you pull out your revolver, and despite your panicked nerves, your shaking hands, you try and get a bead on this beetle through the door. Benji, you're up.
So I have a recollection of somebody giving Benji a firearm in a previous session. Is that true? Anyone remember this?
What would
I
it
remember
have
some
been?
disapproval at the notion of you getting a firearm.
I remember the disapproval. I don't remember getting it, but I remember the disapproval. So I was
So that
checking to
w-
see if anybody remembers.
I do not. Was it an assault rifle? I think it was one of the guns from the Simps.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah. I'll add that to your inventory.
So, so if he's got this weapon, Benji is going to use his fast action to draw it. And it's super awkward as he's doing that, because it's awfully big for him. He's reasonably tall, but he's also like lanky. So he's drawing this thing. He can barely hold it up, and he's going to fire it at this creature.
All right. Has Benji ever fired a gun in his life before?
Nothing this big, that's for sure.
Okay.
Maybe a small toy rifle.
All right. Fire away.
Right.
Oh, no. Okay. Not too bad. One success. There's 2 base damage. I'll roll for its armor. Reduces it by 1. All right. And you notice as your bullets start ripping through its tough carapace, acid starts splashing out of it. Otmar, you are right beside the beetle when this acid comes out.
Yes.
I'll save you, Mr. Otmar.
You take 4 points of acid damage.
Woo. Oh, he's gonna make a strength roll on resilient.
No.
That's 4.
Is Otmar still up?
He is still up. He's barely.
And the problem with acid damage is that each round you will continue to take damage. Anything else from Benji? That was your fast and slow action?
Look, I hit it, Mr. Otmar. Are you okay? That's his fast and slow.
All right. Aiko, you are in full panic mode. You are fleeing. Oh, before we begin the next round, I will say this. Just going to roll a quick d6 here. Ouch. All right. So there are a swarm of these poppers not only attacking the landed spacecraft, but also the guards who are protecting with their very lives their captain. 5 of them are engaged and are likely not going to make it, leaving just the captain and 1 other guard. But they are running. 1, 2. They are running towards you. And they are over here now. And they're bringing with them a swarm of poppers. So, Aiko, what would you like to do?
Officially, with my panic, am I still in? What control level of my faculties do I have here?
Until your panic is resolved, you just need to run. Run and hide someplace where you feel safe. The direction you're running now does not feel safe.
Isn't it so? Would I be running back over here?
You could actually run. It's not on this map, but you could actually run like over here if you like, around the perimeter of the building. And that's where Jarvis is parked, just around the corner.
He's just letting out a big stomping angrily and
I'm gonna, because you're running, I'm gonna say both of your actions are running.
yeah.
So I'm gonna move you like around Jarvis to the second zone.
Sure.
And I'll say that's where you can find some place to hide. You find some piece of exterior piping that you can kind of duck behind, and there are no bugs here. You can still hear gunfire in the background. The cries of someone horribly being burned by acid within the building, but you feel safe, at least here.
He's just gonna grab one of the pipes and stick his head and go, "Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! I'll fucking damn it!"
All right, that brings us to the Pauper Queen. The Pauper Queen, realizing that there is an individual with a gun firing at it, plus this nasty zapper, is going to try and make a retreat. But Otmar, you're in its way. So it's going to go through you by attacking you. 1 success. Takes a bite out of you for 1 point of damage, and you resist that point of damage. Can you tell me how Otmar resists this? You can just see it's
He's just gritting
alien.
his teeth as he's trying to fire up his zapper. He's covered with acid. It's covered with acid. Will it still work? And he's powering through it.
All right. So it can't get past you. It tries to bite you. Thought it had a good bite, but you managed to shake off that damage. Ezra, you are up. Nobody has come through the door yet, except for Alex.
And did the popper move past Otmar or just attack him?
It just attacked him. As long as Otmar is in its way, it can't move past him.
All right. And was there some sort of fire suppression system? Was there some sort of foam or sprinkler?
Oh yes, that was
some
going.
point?
That was going. That's actually what pissed off this queen in the first place. That's
Yeah.
right.
What was it? Water?
It's more like a chemical suppressant, so it's more like
Yeah.
foam.
Yeah. Well, Ezra doesn't panic. And the beast is retreating. He's still manning the door. Doesn't want to go outside because of the yelling and the gunfire. I will just keep my back against the wall and stay my highly composed self. And just without even saying anything, man the door, and anybody that comes through, I'll look for that last person to come through, and then I'll shut the door. Same action as last time.
All right. Otmar.
All right. Once Otmar realizes this thing is trying to get past him, he's gonna try to move around it. Is there room for him to get around it somehow?
Before you do that, you're going to take another 2 points of acid damage.
Uh-oh. Probably is the end.
Oh,
Oh, woo, baby!
Is that suppressant helping at all?
Not immediately, no. It's what it's doing is kind of burying the eggs below, and that's just like a sea of foam below you, but it's not really doing much against acid.
Does Otmar know anything about acid? Like, there's not like a shower or anything like that, like a clean room.
Well, you know that the strength of the acid is halved each round. So the first round you took 4. This one you took 2. Next round you'll take 1, and then it'll be gone.
Yeah, so he would try to move in such a way so that it has a path at least to flee.
Okay.
But then he's gonna zap it with a slow action.
Okay.
So you want me to just roll 1d6 and then we'll decide?
Yeah,
this
exactly.
on the table.
Yep.
Okay.
3. An electric blast of discharge causes a shock that blows a target off their feet and throws them back into the next zone. The target takes a 6 base dice attack, so go ahead and roll 6d6.
One success.
1 success. So 1 point of damage.
Does it like ricochet off the wall?
Yeah, so what it does is you'll knock it right off the edge, and it goes down below into the sea of foam.
Awesome.
And it takes 1 point of damage. On top of that, I'm going to use its armor. Give me a second to see if it takes a point of damage. All right. So, describe for me, Otmar, how with your zapper, you not only launch this enormous beetle over the railing and down below, but how you kill it in the process.
Well, the zappers are specially modified with like larger capacitors, and he has personal modifications to give it, really build up the potential power. And he just, everything he had left, he just tried to use it not just as a zapper, but as a bludgeoning thing to push it up and release the pop. And it just kind of flew away. He doesn't know necessarily that it's dead, except for maybe that he doesn't hear moving afterwards, if he can hear.
You all see this, a massive electrical discharge just in front of you as Otmar launches this beetle, and you can smell the charred carapace, the insect's charred shell, and you can see its kind of limp body just kind of fall legs up into the floor below. All right, that brings us to Alex, who sees the individuals running towards him and just puts his hands up, realizes they're being chased by poppers, so he's going to run back inside and tell you, Ezra, there's a couple people out there. They're being chased by more of those freaking bugs. He closes the door behind them. All right, and that brings us to Gideon.
I guess Gideon's gonna run down to where South and Ezra are. And while he's doing that, he's going to try and like grab Benji by the back of his shirt and pull him along with him.
Okay. Don't forget, you dropped your zapper, too.
Oh, yeah. Is it possible to pick that up, or do I need to do that as a separate thing?
That's a fast action to pick up your zapper.
Okay, yeah. Then I'll do fast action to pick it up, and then run down to where South and Ezra are.
Okay.
Or limp down, I guess.
Okay. I'll just move you down into this room, and that then brings us to South.
South is gonna sprint or use his fast action to kind of run to Otmar, and he's just gonna be like, he's gonna run to Otmar, and then kind of, because you said that's a railing, right, or something like that. He's gonna look over the railing and see if he can find the popper queen, look back at Otmar and go, holy shit, man, are you good? And kind of try to like put his hand over him and kind of like pick him up.
All right, yeah, you can see where Benji's shotgun or assault rifle blast caused a spray of this beetle's blood, just kind of riddling Otmar's front and chest, and you can see it burn straight through his clothing, through his skin, and it looks bad.
Don't get too close.
We gotta get you out of here, man. We gotta get you into
Go.
the main room with the others. And what room is this right here? Where do I pin? The room to our left, is that?
That one?
Yeah.
That one is up some stairs. These are the stairs that Benji originally took.
Oh.
This is like a control room.
Okay. And then the other stairs are just where the Pauper Queen's at and all the sacks were at.
Yeah, exactly.
And then is the room that Otmar, is that a room too where the last marker is?
That would lead further down to like other parts of the plant.
Okay.
If you want to run
Yeah.
that way, that's fine too.
I'm just gonna try to help Otmar get up on his feet and then kind of slowly bring him into this main room where everybody's at, and kind of try to formulate a game plan now that we're back to being trapped in this one room.
All right. So Benji, you're up. You
Benji's seeing Otmar, and he's a little freaked out. Like oh no, I caused that. And he's gonna like grab as much foam as he can. He's running towards Otmar with like whatever foam is fallen, and he's gonna go try to like, I think I could fix it. I'm so sorry, Mr. Otmar. I had no idea. He's gonna try to like put the foam on the acid wounds or something. He's trying to medically assist here.
go ahead and make a medical aid check.
I don't know what I'm doing, Mr. Otmar. I'm so sorry.
Otmar
I did
is
good
up.
though.
And South, can you please increase your stress level by 1, as well as you see Benji trying to cover Otmar in foam. Unfortunately, the foam doesn't seem to be doing much.
So what would that have been in terms of actions?
That would be your slow action. Every time you roll, that's like a slow action.
All right, and a fast action to leave the space. Is that correct?
To move a zone, yep.
Yeah, so seeing that this is not successful, he's just like, and panicked, he's just crushed. He's going to sprint out.
Aiko, you are panicked and hiding behind this pipe. Oh, before we do that, I'm just going to move these guys. Banging at the door, yelling, "Let us in, you fuckers." And you hear gunfire going on. All right, so Aiko, you hear a woman's voice around the corner, screaming, "Let me in! Open this door! Help! Help!" And you can hear the thrumming of wings outside as well. Aiko, what is going through Aiko's mind right now?
He's just like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. I need to get off this fucking rock. Do I see anything of value in this pipe room?
You're not in. You're on the exterior of the plant, and you're hiding behind a pipe. There's really nothing around you. Ezra, what would you like to do? You hear the pounding on the door. Let me in.
Yeah, that doesn't interest me. I see the Pauper Queen guy flying over to the side, and I gather my wits about me. I've had my back against this wall, and I've been noticing this computer terminal. I'll head this way and nudge Benji out of the way, sit at the office chair, and put hands on keyboard for this computer terminal, and start searching for security controls, access controls, surveillance cameras, fence control, anything security and access related.
All right, go ahead and make a CommTech check. All right. So you see, because Benji was able to restore power to this plant, you can see screens just kind of coming back to life. Most of them are covered in static, but you figure out the controls and you figure out which switches are connected to which camera. You can find the camera that is located just outside the door to the room you're in, the exterior, and you can see clearly in that security camera a woman with an assault rifle trying to fend off a number of these smaller poppers.
How far away are the poppers from the woman?
They're practically right on her. They are short to engaged range.
All right, I'll keep that information to myself and take no action.
All right. Next up, Otmar. I need you to take 1 point of damage.
Yeah, he's gonna make one more strength check.
Tough guy. Tough guy.
He slings it off. What's going on out there? He uses a fast action to move. Can he see what's on the screen or not?
Yeah, you'll be able to see. The monitors are all kind of up on a bank like this, so you can see. Yeah.
Is it possible? Is he have the ability to, I guess, ambush any bugs or hostiles that come in the door? Is that like to ready a thing? Is that something he can do with his slow action?
Yeah, you can go into like an Overwatch position.
Okay.
As,
I think
yeah.
he'll move right over here and go into an Overwatch.
Okay. I'm missing someone on this map.
Ico?
Is it Ico? Yeah.
No. Volkov. And I will say, unless anyone tries to stop her, she's going to hit the button to open the door.
I say let her do it. More cannon fodder is always good. Have that buffer.
Ezra jumps up to stop her.
All right. Be a close combat check then. No successes either way. She manages to... All she needs to do is hit a big red button to open the door. So she slams her fist to it. The door opens. The woman is just outside. On her turn, she'll be able to move in. But now you see the number of poppers outside. Alex Turner is hiding under a table here. He's going to crawl under this table, make himself as small as possible. Gideon.
Honestly, I feel like Gideon's kind of too exhausted to really care at this point. And especially since he's at 1 hit point, he's going to kind of post up on the other side of the door with his little stun baton just at the ready, just in case.
Okay. South?
South is going to hear the door crack and immediately turn around. And so if I stay in the zone, it's not a fast action, right?
No, it's just you can move around. Actually, if you move around in there, you can. It depends on what you're going to do, actually.
I'm probably just going to move like right here, so I'm still technically in that zone, and then take aim at the door.
Okay.
The South is going to hear the commotion of everybody screaming and hollering about the door, and because she's already hit the button at this point, so it's sliding open now, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's open. Yeah, wide open.
Okay. South is going to kind of take aim at the door, and well, I don't want to hit her. Yeah, he's just going to take aim at the door.
Okay. Benji?
The door's open.
The door is open.
Benji's shaking and he's hesitant now because the last time he fired his weapon, something bad happened. And he's in full freak out mode. He's gonna hide under the desk. He's actually gonna try to stealth. I don't know if that's something he can attempt.
Yep. Go ahead and make a mobility check.
All right, mobility check.
All right. You find a nice. You pull a chair out. You find a little crawl space beneath the desk, and you find like a chest, like a drawer set. Kind of you can kind of squeeze behind because you're a kid. You can kind of fit yourself in there. It's a good hiding spot.
And from that spot, he's going to try to calm himself down. He's going to spend the turn under that desk. He's like, Mom, Andrea, Dad. Mom, Andrea, Dad. He's focusing.
All right. Top next round, I'm gonna roll. Add these guys to combat. Sorry about this. I just want to double. I want to make sure that Aiko isn't like unnecessarily stuck.
He is outside, so he's the
Yeah.
only one outside.
Around a turn. Okay, it's 5 to 10 minutes, so it's not going to be in combat. Then you cannot get yourself out of panic until combat is over.
You're just gonna be running around the perimeter, just screaming.
Yeah, he's found himself a good hiding spot.
Oh, that's right, in the pipes. That's right.
I'm a
All right.
professional hider.
Professor.
He was the kid who always won in hide and seek.
I'm also working on Ezra's write-up while I'm over here.
It's whatever calms you down.
Very
Whatever,
therapeutic.
whatever
Calming paperwork.
soothes you. Self-soothing.
Okay, I'm just gonna make a popper attack.
Oh, they got. Oh, I thought she was moving first. Oh no.
Swarm. Okay, so all right, so they're swarming her. So they didn't move in. So they're all over her.
Goodness.
She needs to make a stamina check. That brings us to Ezra. You see them crawling all over this poor woman outside. What would you like to do?
Get between Volkov and the button. Don't necessarily like want to maliciously shove her. I leapt up from the chair and tried to grab her wrist before she could press the red button. I'm not attacking her, but I want to body check her like you're blocking, you're rebounding on a basketball hoop, and put my body between her and the red button and press the red button.
Okay, it's still going to be close combat. I'm not going to do this. Won't be a damage thing, but because she still wants to keep the door open herself.
Tough old broad.
All right, and he says, "What is wrong with you people? Can't you see someone out there that needs help?"
Us or them, Doctor. She's getting swarmed. You want to go out and help her?
Unbelievable. Cowards. And inhumane. I cannot believe that you were sent on this mission of hope and reunification. Otmar, you're up.
Should either of the two NPCs be in the initiative list, or are we good? Are they in yours?
They're in mine. They
Okay, that's
are
fine.
they're going last.
Got it.
And they're just being... The doctor, she's just being reactive. And that poor lady out there being swarmed is going last.
These stun batons are pretty long. Does Otmar think he could, from the inside of the door, make a poke at one of these swarmers?
You have to be in the same zone. You
Gotta
don't
be in the
necessarily
same
have to
zone.
be engaged, but you have to be in the same zone.
Yeah. He's not about to step out there. So he'll, I think he's going to actually move back here. And he's just, does he hear, as he gets closer to south, or maybe he moves into south zone as a fast action, does he hear any more sounds from that direction? Or are they all coming from the door? Would that be an observation check?
That would be an observation check, yeah.
Alright.
Wow. No, you do not hear that the sounds of the clicking, whirring kind of sounds that you heard before. It's relatively quiet in here now. All you hear is the suppression system, which is now kind of run dry. You just see you see the drips of foam coming down. All the noise is coming from outside.
So he calls back, Benji, where'd you turn on the lights? If he knew, or like, let's say that he somehow suspected that he was the one who did it. Does Benji respond?
You're hiding.
Yeah, you can hide. He starts He starts looking around through this zone.
He perks up, but he doesn't answer.
Okay, that's Otmar's turn.
Okay. Alex is hiding to the best of his ability. Gideon.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of stay right there, ready to zap any of the poppers that come through.
Okay. South.
South is going to try to take a pop shot at one of the poppers.
Okay.
Which is probably not a great idea because she's probably going to get covered in acid, but also fuck the cooperative. So, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm not good at this. So, ranged combat.
A lot of dice. More panic.
Oh boy.
All right. So you get your shot off, and you have 2 successes. The weapon you are firing, which one was it?
The pistol, the Frontier 357. I want to say.
Okay. That does 2 points of damage. Give me some bullets there. Plus the extra 1 die, so 3 points of damage on a popper. It explodes. You can see it explode and splash acid on this poor woman out there, whose armor has been degraded quite severely already, and she's starting to take burns now. All right. Anything else from South? That was your slow action. You still have your fast.
What does Overwatch count as? Is that a fast action, or is that a slow?
Just let me double check that. Overwatch is a fast action.
Yeah, I think that's it for me then.
Benji, you're up.
Does stealth provide any offensive advantages?
If you're ambushing, yes.
He's still trying to calm himself, though, so I don't know if Benji's in that sort of an ambush mode. He did hear Otmar ask him a question, saw Otmar go. He's trying to ground himself as much as he can. But he knows there's a threat at this door. He's going to... So Overwatch is waiting for something to happen, right?
Yep.
So he will take an Overwatch of the door if he can, while panicking.
Okay.
With his assault rifle, he's shaking. He can barely hold it, but he's got it like supported on the ground from his hiding spot, pointed at that door, waiting for something to walk in. And that's his turn. His eyes are darting north because he heard Otmar, but he's trying to focus on that door. And he's still repeating over and over again, Andrea, Mom, Dad, Andrea, Mom, Dad. That's his turn.
All right. Well, she walks in. You guys who are doing Overwatch can make your attacks. That includes Gideon, Benji.
Nice.
All right. So, Gideon, you zap one. And Benji, you shoot another. Now, Gideon, you are going to take some splash damage. Do you have any armor?
No, I don't.
All right. So you'll be taking 2 points of splash damage. Acid damage.
Got that resistance
gonna
thing, though, don't you?
Take the resilient.
Yep.
I'm gonna do that.
1 point.
Okay, cool. I'm down, but cool.
All right. You managed to poke one. Describe to me what happens, because Gideon, you killed one, but you go down in the process.
I think it's definitely he kills one, kind of gets covered with the acid. Now he's just on the ground, kind of rolling, doing like a stop, drop, and roll, screaming. Just like, get off me, get off me, get off me, get off me.
All right. And Benji, you shoot another, and the splash is just going to hit the doctor,
Oh, yeah, good.
and she goes down.
Hmm.
Horrible burns, splash across her face, goes down screaming. And this woman down to 1 point of health. Still, but will likely go down next turn because of the acid that remains on her body. All right. And now the remaining pauper will attack. It is still on the lady, so it will continue to attack her as her main target. All right. Considers beneath it and rushes its victim. Everyone in the zone must make an immediate panic roll. All right, so I need you all to hit that stress button for me, please. See what happens.
Do I still need to, even though I'm down?
No, you're down. You're.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it. Just Benji, I guess. And then she needs to make a mobility check. That brings us top of the order. Aiko, you're still hiding behind that pipe. Sorry. Ezra.
All right, I watched the doctor get fried. And I
You'll see.
exhibit the slightest bit of emotion. And then I turn my back on the doctor and look underneath the desk, and I choose my words intentionally. I say, "Come on, kid, we gotta fly." And I say that in a reassuring, soothing tone, and I will try to relieve his panic.
Go ahead, make that command check. All right.
All right, that was my slow action, and then with my fast action, I can move through door hatch. I can get into this zone.
Okay.
And
Benji, you can take that panic off.
Wow.
It's pretty OP.
Surprisingly effective.
Otmar.
So when Otmar was storming down this this catwalk, he did notice something off to the side, and he's in no condition to fight. So he's like looking for medical packs or water, bandages, anything like that, as he starts going into this area.
Okay.
That's his turn.
Right. That brings us to Alex. Not doing anything. Gideon, you are down.
And no one seems to care at all.
I really feel appreciated right now, guys.
Alex would rather do nothing than even like help you a little bit. He's just, didn't you run and save Alex and pull him up the catwalk? He's just standing right in front of you, like watching you,
Looking
like,
at my cold, dead eyes and just standing there.
wow, Alex is cold.
Honestly, he's my #1 enemy right now. I'm going for him next time I kill him.
Oh, we got a rival with an NPC.
He's a dead man.
I need you to roll 2d6 for me, please, Gideon.
Okay. 1 success.
That would be, I'm just going to look at the roll here, 36. This is you rolled on the critical table here. Because if you're broken, you automatically gain a critical on a 36. All right, so I'll say this. It says broken arm, but what I'll say is the arm that you used to stab at this thing with your zapper, sure, you killed it, but it exploded right as you did so, and your arm just is a mess now. It is useless pretty much at this point. So with a broken arm, you basically cannot use it, and it'll take 2d6 days to heal.
Okay.
Well, the good news is day is only 2 hours, so
Yeah, it works out for me either way.
it'll be like 2 days and you'll be good to go.
Honestly, with all the stuff I've been through, I'll gladly take a broken arm.
That's actually an interesting mechanics flaw. Is that what the actual rule says?
Yeah, it's days. all the healing times from days.
That's a mechanics flaw that they probably are not aware of. Because what if you have shorter days?
I think they meant Earth days. We go by Earth
Aw,
days.
man.
Definitely doesn't say Earth days.
Oh, so
No,
2 weeks.
I'm
You'll be-
sorry.
by the
No,
time
see
you're-
now Andrew's tweaking the rules against us.
Yeah.
We
And
found a
because-
loophole. Let us exploit it.
And because the acid continues to burn through you for one more round, I need you to roll a second critical.
Oh man.
2 more d6.
Oh, whoops.
Yo, I'm liking this no mercy mother. This is the universe we deserve.
51. Bust kidney. Okay. All right, so this
Sorry,
is a potential.
guys. I just bruised my kidney.
You have to. You have to. You're good.
You have to. You're good. That's true.
That's what you
Busted
get for
kidney.
grabbing your side in pain with your hand covered in acid. Sam!
This is
So
coming from the
this-
guy who's hiding.
So the acid must have covered your entire body and burned right through to your kidney, destroying it. You will die in 1 day. So you still want a 2-hour day?
We'll do an Earth Day. Earth Day sounds great.
Owned.
If you do not get medical attention.
Yo, your Tinder profile pics better be updated because you changed.
Just gonna turn into a full mummy, just covered in bandages, walking around.
All right. South, you're up.
What would it? So my fast action, since I'm be right outside the zone, would be getting in the zone. The poppers are they attached to her?
Pretty much. They're in engaged range. They're crawling over. They were swarming her. They're trying to claw out her eyes.
Okay. So for my fast action, I'm gonna get as close to her as possible, and then with my slow action, could I grab and throw her like against this counter to get her
Sure.
away from everybody? That way, if
Sure.
the other one explodes, it doesn't get all over everybody.
Sure.
All right.
It's going to be a close combat roll. It's not going to be contested. You just need 1 success.
I have no points in close combat.
And you got more panic. You scream.
Y'all, I could give a seminar on how to panic.
Uh.
3 easy steps to make your panicking
What is
more
my?
efficient.
All right. So every character who can hear you scream must make an immediate panic roll. That would be everyone except Otmar and Aiko. Gideon, obviously. And so it's just Benji, I guess. Benji, you drop your assault rifle.
Well, that didn't go as planned.
Benji, you're up.
Benji's going to he heard Ezra, and we got to fly, and so he's going to sprint out from under here, but as he's passing south, how south looking as he's sort of running by him? What's his condition?
He's just because I mean he's never seen anything like this before, so he's seen all of the acid and everything all over the woman who's just run in, and Gideon's on the floor screaming in pain, and Seth just kind of starts shaking really bad, and it just lets out just like the most barbaric, horrifying scream you've ever heard as he run by.
He's going to stop, and he's going to reach into one of South's pockets, trying to pull out a cigarette to give to South. Mr. South, you need this, man. You need this. Calm down. And he's going to try to calm him down.
Wow, 2 stress from that?
All right. You drop the pack of cigarettes after you give him one. But yeah, South, your panic is relieved.
Seth is gonna kind of look down at Benji and like still kind of shaking and look down and shakily like try to grab the cigarette and like shakily like put it in his mouth. And then he realizes again that I forgot I lost the lighter. I swear. Forgot about that.
You guys are dropping things all over the place. All right.
And that would have been his slow action, right?
Mhm.
And Benji is going to fly. He's going to move towards Ezra.
Is this beetle still alive?
There's one popper still alive.
Y'all are doing a lot of non-beetle killing things. Like there's a beetle.
I was gonna shoot it, but Gideon's already down, and I didn't.
Gideon's
flash on
dying.
Gideon.
That's priority.
Well,
Interesting to me.
look, if it's
All right.
we just get some bandages, the kidney will be fine.
Yeah,
Could
let's
be.
It'd be
put
great.
a band-aid on it. It'll
Save
be just
Gideon's
fine.
life or give Self a cigarette. I will give him a cigarette.
Hang on, guys. I know you're dying and all, but let me smoke a cigarette right now.
I can't
So
even
there-
smoke a cigarette. I don't even have a lighter.
There is
I'm just
There's
chewing
an
on the
assault rifle.
filter.
There is an assault rifle lying on the ground by the desk, and a pack of cigarettes on the floor near South. But it is now the woman's turn. She pulls out a knife. No successes.
Oof.
We gotta get rid of this thing.
And then thing will go. Misses. All right, so she lives another round. She is in bad shape though. And you notice that she was wearing full combat armor, and that's all destroyed now. And she's like, the acid burns are covering like 3/4 of her body now. She's clinging to life. She's got 1 health point left. Aiko, sorry, you're panicked. Ezra.
I will scurry through this hallway catwalk looking for a medical kit hanging from a wall that I've seen in industrial facilities.
All right. Nothing here along the catwalk.
All right.
But,
Move into this zone.
all right.
And I guess that'll be my turn. So moving through the corridor, through a zone, looking for a med kit. Ultimately, I want to get up the stairs, try to, if I hear where Otmar is, try to follow in that direction.
Okay. Otmar, you're up.
And he's making noise as he's pushing containers aside, looking for any kind of medical supplies. He gets into the next zone with his fast action. What does he
There
see?
is a first aid kit hanging on the wall.
Okay. Anything else in here?
Go ahead and make an observation check. That'll be your slow action if you want to search for more stuff. All right. This is there are a number of levers here that seem to indicate that they're useful for something. Maybe one of them was a fire suppression system that seems activated already. There's a medical aid kit, first aid kit. And inside of it, you'll see a number of medications that you're familiar with for dehydration, for hypothermia, that kind of thing.
Can he recognize the purpose of any of the other levers being a roughneck who's operated heavy machinery?
I'll let you make a Comtech roll too, if you want.
Okay. And he's gonna say "fucking Comtech" really loud as he whiffs, but maybe other people will hear him. That's his turn. He moves to get the med kit and start to exit the zone.
Gideon, you are dying. So,
What would I have to roll to try to pick Gideon up and get him away from the popper so I can safely shoot it without?
that'll be like a slow action to drag Gideon off someplace. I'll just say.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to grab Gideon and drag him towards the exit of the zone.
Okay, I'm sorry. Before we get to your turn, I need Gideon to make a stamina check. I totally forgot that the kidney wound is fatal. This
Oh,
is your
man.
death save.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Is that
Oh.
good or bad?
So reduce one stress because you don't actually roll your stress dice on this, just straight stamina. So you got 2 successes. You are not dying yet. You will not die this round.
Yay!
All right,
I have
sorry.
one
Go
thing
ahead.
going for me.
Word is this round.
All right. It is now your turn. Sorry about that, South.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to grab Gideon and try to drag him closer to the exit of the zone, so I can finally get a shot off at this popper, maybe in the next round.
So where would you like to drag Gideon?
I'm gonna try to drag Gideon, like, kind of like on the other side of that. I guess, yeah, kind of closer to that doorway where Benji's at.
Okay. Not a problem. Benji, what would you like to do?
Benji's going to. He's at the door. He knows there's some problems. He's not comfortable with the situation, but he's panicked. He's gonna yell, "Mr. South, I'll clear a path." And he's gonna charge forward into the next zone. That's his fast action. And say to he's going to get to Ezra. He's going to sort of tug on Ezra and say, "Mr. Pilot, sir, you really got to help them back there. They're in big trouble. We're counting on you. You've got to do it."
Ezra just sneers back at Benji. Like, really?
"I know you can do it. You saved me, you can save them." And that's his turn.
Okay. Woman will try to knife this thing once more.
Oh,
All right. Does 4
Oh, we
points.
can see her name. Zhu Yin.
Clearly kills this thing, but it pops on her and she'll go down from the acid damage.
ah,
Pop goes the balloon.
Boop. I'll end combat there. Actually, no, I cannot, because
Yeah, we're in a medical emergency here.
yeah. Gideon. Let's see if you guys can get to Gideon before Gideon
Yeah.
goes into shock. Aiko, no, sorry, you're not helping here. Sorry. Ezra.
just sneer at Benji and give him a noticeable shove as I wave past him and go back into this zone. And get to the end of the zone and look through the door. What do I see?
You see the woman that came in through the door, down, covered in acid, a bunch of burst poppers all around her. The floor is kind of pockmarked now from the acid burns in there. You see lying next to the door, Dr. Irina Volkov, also badly burned from acid. You see Gideon down with one arm completely mangled and unrecognizable practically. And one side of where his kidney is just kind of like a big hole where the kidney should be.
And what's the status of South?
I was dragging Gideon to the door.
All right. My fast action was to get through the zone. I see the situation, so I don't need to go into that room. My intent is to help South get Gideon to safety. Any particular action I could take, or is that just gonna happen?
No, not unless you move. You have to move into the other zone as your slow
Yeah.
action, and then wait for your next turn before you can do anything.
Yeah. I'll move into the next zone and try to get. So, 2 zones is my slow and fast. I'm in this zone, and I'm on the other side of South, supporting Gideon.
The door is still open to the outside, and you can still clearly hear the buzzing
Oh,
insect
forget
wings.
that. Then, thank you. I'll move two zones and hit the red button.
Okay. Hitting the red button is a fast action, so you cannot close it this turn.
Oh shit. Yeah, 2 zones and just wait here to wait the round and hit the button. Yeah, that's my objective.
Otmar.
Otmar's got the medical kit. He's moving to one zone, moving to another, and that's his fast and slow action. I know he can't hand it to Benji, but he's, it's outstretched in his hands. He's trying to kind of relay it to the front lines. That's Otmar's turn.
Alex, on his turn, he'll leap up bravely from beneath that desk, lunge up, and hit that red button to close the door. Alex saves the day.
Alex.
Screw Alex. I don't like him anymore.
Ezra literally says out loud, "Our hero," in the most sarcastic way possible.
All right. And my mistake. Gideon, you don't have to make these death rolls until the day has passed and you have not received medical aid. So you're safe. That was my mistake.
Thank God.
But you are completely broken. So since there is no medical emergency,
Time pressure. Yeah, right.
Time pressure now. I'll end combat.
Doors closed.
Doors closed now. Except Aiko's still out there.
Screw Aiko.
Corporate.
How can you say something so negative about your leader?
He made his bed, now he has to lie in it.
You're the one lying down, bitch. Oh.
Don't worry, I'll give you an ass and I'll give you a nice big hug.
One-handed.
Yes.
Otmar thinks he remembers Benji being good with medicine. Is that true?
Yeah, the kid.
Benji.
Yeah. Do you know much about medical aid? Because Otmar doesn't know shit. He's looking for someone with some expertise to give this thing to and transfer responsibility.
Mr. Otmar, I don't know. I'm not having a good day,
Okay.
Mr. Otmar. I shot at you and some shit happened. I don't know if you remember, but
he goes in. He's like, "What the fuck happened here? Does any one of you fucks know how to use this? Help him." And he looks around. Does anybody take action?
Do anything with that?
Yeah, South is just gonna kind of look and just kind of throw his hands up like, I've never used one of those things, man. I just mine rocks for a living.
Ezra, no?
It has a keyboard. I can help.
All right. Otmar's gonna try to deliver some medical aid.
All right. To who? To Gideon?
To Gideon.
All right. Gideon, you have 1 point of health.
Oh, thank God.
What happened to you, kid?
Look what just happened.
Just so you know, this does not eliminate the critical injury that Gideon has suffered. Gideon will still die in a day without
a kidney,
proper medical attention.
Okay.
Wait, does that mean so what is proper medical attention in the context of that?
Gideon needs a hospital someplace. Someone who knows what they're doing, like a surgeon, to properly fix this devastating wound.
Would they have that on the backwater planet?
It would be on the ship that you arrived on. Would have had those types of medical facilities. Baxter's Reach would have had a medical.
What about the ship that they landed in? That the co-op landed in?
I don't think we know that. I don't think we know that yet. Where the lady came from.
Can we take a break sometime soon?
Yes, actually, let's take a break now. We'll come back since you guys finished this combat. We'll be back in like 5-10 minutes. All right.
Gideon, your
sounds good.
Clock is still ticking though. Just
yeah. If I.
All right. We are back. Just missing South. They'll join us soon. But for the rest of you, after that frantic, chaotic battle with Gideon critically wounded twice over, and a couple of NPCs down. This captain from the cooperative lying in the middle of your floor, kind of surrounded by burst poppers and covered in acid, and Dr. Irina Volkov, also unconscious from her wounds.
Is the captain there dead, or is she just critical?
They are broken, considered broken. They can still be recovered through medical aid if you guys wish to administer it, or you can leave them to die.
There's some contact back there in the control room.
Professor doesn't say anything. He just departs.
What do we want to do about these? Otmar would, I guess, search the lieutenant with the ruined armor. Do you have any, like, a key card or identification?
Yeah.
Cooperative.
Clearly, she was a member of the cooperative just based on the insignia she was wearing. Kind of what she has is it's a lotus kind of symbol, a green lotus, kind of in a half crescent, sitting in a half crescent, and in the middle of it is a star. And yeah, so she's clearly a member. But aside from her pistol and her knife, her combat armor, which is now destroyed, that's really all she has.
He would disarm her anyways.
Okay.
Mr. Otmar, I'm really sorry about what happened back there. I had no idea, Mr. Otmar, that would happen to you. I hope you're okay.
Gotta think about lines of fire, kid. Weren't thinking. No. You know what you have to do. Think of your dad.
And he's looking down at his feet.
Chin up, son. Just keep pushing. Just like he did.
I got you, Mr. Otmar.
Is anyone going to give medical aid to the cooperative soldier or to Dr. Volkov?
Mr. Otmar, I could try to patch one of them up. Which one do you think I should?
This one might have some information. He points to the lieutenant.
But isn't she one of them? I mean,
I don't think she's much of a threat anymore, but hell, neither am I.
Benji's gonna. Is that kit a one-time use or no?
I
No,
don't think
you reuse
so.
it.
Benji's gonna try to, reach out asking Otmar for it, and might try to patch her
Yeah.
up.
Okay.
Go for it.
I don't know. I remember my mom talking about some of this stuff, and if I look for the biggest bleed, I could put some pressure on it here, and
Before you do so, okay, that's fine. I was just going to say you can remove your panic before you make that roll. All right, so you do have 1 point of success. Panic is also over for Aiko.
Does that mean I lose all my panic?
Yeah. Not you keep your stress, but your panic is gone.
So the panic condition goes away, but you
Yeah.
have your stress die.
And you have 1 success, so you give her 1 point of health back. And she regains consciousness. She's clearly still in a great deal of pain, though.
How about the other one, Benji? Doing good, kid.
I'll give it a go. Is there a kit that provides a bonus to this? Because
Yeah, medical kit will give you +2. Sorry, I should have given you 2 extra dice.
all right, so I will manually do that. Base modifier 2. Roll. Wait a minute, that was Okay.
All right, so 2 successes. She is back up.
He's panicked again.
All right. Feel a little nervous applying this first aid.
All right, Mr. Alma, I don't like there was a bit of a spurt of blood while he was doing this. I'm not sure I want to do this anymore, Mr. Otmar. I think I'm not sure I'm good at this.
Give it back.
All right. As she regains consciousness, she looks up at you, Benji, and says, "You're one of the good ones. Thank you." You see the cooperative soldier, when she regains consciousness, she suddenly seems a little fearful. She reaches for her gun. It's missing. Her knife is missing. Surrounded by strangers. And she realizes she's not in a position to be any threat to any of you. So she says, "Are they gone? Did we get them all?"
We got him.
Seth is going to look at her and go, are they all gone? Are you talking about us or the bugs?
Whatever those things were, as she looks disgustedly at the acid pools around her feet, and she gingerly just tries to move out of them. Thank you. Thank you for saving my life. I know you didn't have to.
Were you sent here to kill us? Track us down? Before you were rudely interrupted by those? And he's going to point to the bodies of all the paupers.
I was sent to retrieve you. We had reports that you had left with a number of delegates, and they wanted them returned.
Retrieve? Is that why I got put in a tractor and drove out to a field? Be retrieved?
That was not my doing. That was barbaric.
Seth is going to put his hand on his pistol and kind of sternly look at her and go, "Give me one good reason why I shouldn't drag you out there and feed you those paupers."
Well, as long as they're out there and they're a threat, I know how to use a gun and a knife.
And how do I know you're not transmitting to the cooperative right now? Telling them that we're still alive and send reinforcements and finish us off while we're still vulnerable.
Well, you can see the state of my armor. It's all gone.
Seth is just going to kind of shake his head and look at the rest of the group and say, I don't think she needs to come with us. I don't trust any of those cooperative fucks out there, and we should have left her out there to die. And he's going to kind of look at Valkova.
Dr. Volkov is kind of leaning up against the wall. There, doesn't quite have the strength to get to her feet yet, and she says, "Our mission was one of hope, reunification, to welcome the good folks of Baxter's Reach back into the arms of the Middle Heavens. This is clearly not going according to plans, but we must still conduct ourselves in such a manner that exemplifies everything that our mission stands for." Where is Ezra? Where's Aiko?
Kind of lost track of him. He'll be back soon. Don't worry. Let's just try to calm down. Catch our breath.
I feel I must apologize for my fellow delegates. Clearly have not lived up to their mission. I hope it does not reflect poorly on me, as I am truly here to see how I could be of service to you, folks of Baxter's Reach.
By letting in the person who was going to kill us? You realize the cooperative killed, what was it, 2 or 3 of the people right off the bat that come off of your ship. And you just let her right in.
We cannot lose sight of our humanity in these dark times.
And South is going to again look at one of the poppers and go, humanity, fuck humanity. You think these things care about humanity? You think the cooperative cares about humanity as they're killing folks in cold blood?
I understand your frustration, your fear, but we must rise to this occasion together. That's what this mission was all about. Togetherness. Hope.
South is going to look at Otmar and go, he's going to like throw his hands up and goes, it's like talking to her. Will you please talk to this woman? It's hope this and hope that. She's not going to get through to her. Somebody talk some sense into her.
I've learned you can't change somebody's mind. Let's just recover our strength, and then we'll figure out what to do.
South is just going to kind of shake his head and sit down on that bench right there and put his hands on his knees and just kind of look at the floor.
I'm going to go to Aiko, who has recovered from his panic. You can hear the whirring of wings. And as you peek around the corner, you can see them clustered over the ship that has just landed. And you can just see it's like a hulk of melted metal now. It's just kind of blobs of metal. It is gone.
The ship is gone.
Yeah.
I'll slowly start creeping my way back. The door's closed.
The door's closed.
I'm going to straighten my tie and roll up my sleeves, ruffle my hair a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Psycho, let me in.
Could we still see them on the screen? Was the video feed still set to outside the door?
It is.
Oh, it's our favorite. He goes over to the red button and pushes it. And he'll push it again as he walks in, closing it behind him.
Aiko walks in and kind of straightens his hair and kind of looks at the disaster that's around him and goes, all right, good work. We all had different strategies. It seemed everything worked out in the end. That's good. I'll take things over here again. Whoa. Who the hell is this lady?
She's from the cooperative. Lieutenant Ying.
Captain Shu Ying.
And whoa, what happened to Gideon? Jesus Christ, you look bad. Oh, man. Oh, I don't want to even oh, man.
Gideon doesn't even say anything. He just flips him off with his good hand.
Jeez Louise. Benji, you're still alive, of course. And no, man, everybody's doing okay. Oh, looks like Ezra didn't make it, though, huh? I don't see him around.
He's off mucking around with the comm tech.
Speaking of which, Ezra, you make your way back up to the control room.
Safely,
Is there
no
any-
bugs.
No bugs.
I close and lock the door behind me.
Okay.
Sit down at the nearest terminal. And when I got the Comtech up and running on our crashed ship, I remember there not being any off-world transmitters. First thing I try to do is see if this facility has any off-world transmission.
All right, go ahead and make a contact check. Oh, and you cannot push. Ezra, you fiddle around with the controls. This plant is old, decades old. The technology here is pretty ancient, and you don't see any sign of any kind of off-world communication.
Shakes his head.
capability.
Just if androids had emotions, he'd feel like we're fucked. Secondary check will be for a master surveillance system, like the control. The entryway might have just had surveillance of that outside patio area, but I want to see if there are any more bugs. Full plant surveillance to see if there are any more bugs wandering around.
All right, go ahead and make another contact check. Oh my gosh.
This must be in COBOL or what your RPG. These systems are, in some sort of
Too
language.
old. Too old.
Yeah,
How does that
they're not
happen?
even in C or.
It looks like the data's been corrupted. It's unrecoverable. It's just, it's not
All right,
working for
I
you.
just slam my palms down on the console and stand up and look around the room for any other resources. I'm done mucking around with this trash computer system.
Go ahead and make an observation check.
Any other resources? Do you need to know specifically what I'm looking for? Self-defense, weapons, med kits, Comtech tools, toolbox, anything. I'm ready to exit this room. So anything that's portable and can come with me.
It does look like there is someone left behind, kind of tucked away in one of the drawers, what looks to be like a pass that would be able to
Like a
give you access to
badge,
various.
like a badge type of thing that you could wand
Yeah.
over a door. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll just scurry around, look for any papers, binders, printed information about the plant, who was here, any like last notes of we were overrun by bugs, help us, like that.
Yeah, there was nothing like that. It looks like it was voluntarily shut down just simply due to lack of manpower. They did not have the people during the time that Baxter Street suffered from a plague, a devastating plague, an illness.
Okay.
Most of their population were decimated, and it just simply weren't enough people to operate the plants, so they just
Okay.
abandoned it.
Take the access badge and head back down the corridor in a cautious, stealthy way, looking for bugs, try to get my way back to the group in a safe way.
All right. It is quiet now. You don't hear any noise in this plant at all.
It's a good thing. I see Aiko and turn the other direction. No, I'm just kidding.
You do see lying on the catwalk there the destroyed body of Lisa.
Oh yeah, I don't give that a second look. I just step over it and rub shoulders with Aiko as I push past him to get into the room. A nudge. Put my back up against the wall.
Aiko thinks that there's not enough papers in the universe to accommodate the number of citations you're racking up.
Stand next to Otmar and just give him a nod. Let him know, like, no trouble.
Otmar closes his eyes after opening them briefly. He's reclining in one of the desk chairs, trying to recover some strength. This seems safe. Can we hole up here for a bit, you think?
Ezra nods.
Can Aiko infer how long Gideon has to live? What kind of check would that be?
Oh, you all know. Gideon's going to die in a day. 24 hours. I'll just say 24 hours.
Well, as pleasant as it is here, we do have the pressing matter of our our soon to be departed over here. I'm not a doctor. They don't pay me enough for that. But I do think this one's gonna die soon. So we either need to get rid of the body or find someone to stitch her up. Because the smell will be terrible.
Thanks, Coffee McSpillstain. It's nice that you sort of noted that for us. And it's also really refreshing that all of a sudden you're coming out to really be the hero here. You know, it's really great. It just shows your bravery.
Aiko's gonna put his hand on Benji and say, "I'm always here to lead and take the credit. So don't worry about that, son."
He is right, though. Gideon's looking pretty rough. Maybe we should do something. You're a doctor. Everyone's calling you doctor, Dr. Irina Volkov. What can you do?
I'm gonna look over as he says that. I'm gonna look over at Ezra.
Ezra will beat Aiko's gaze and just hold it and just give him a little shake, meaning don't say anything.
Dr. Volkov still leaning against the wall. So I can't do anything for Gideon here. He needs a medical facility. They might have such a thing here if we could find it. Although I don't know what state it would be in after all these years. There was one on the ship that we arrived on. And I'm sure there must be one in Baxter's Reach. Regardless, Gideon needs medical attention within the day or he will die.
Yeah, from what I saw, that ship looks like it's toast. But I don't know. Maybe we could pull something off that we could use. What would we need to find there that would need to still be intact?
I would need surgical equipment, like a surgical bay, or an auto dock device would be.
Is the gun that Benji dropped still on the
It is
floor?
still on the floor. Yeah.
Not
Who
the cigarettes, though. Benji pocketed those.
Not with cigarettes.
who looks the most like healthy among us here? South, would it be?
Yeah, I haven't lost any hit points yet. Just stressed, very stressed. Well,
So Otmar says, "You all can do what you want. In half an hour, I'll move out. I just need some rest."
Ezra had luck with this newer tech at this facility. He sits down at the terminal and looks for a facility map, floor plan, digital floor plan.
Go ahead, make another contact roll.
That's what
Mr.
we're talking
Otmar.
about. This must be
there it
newer
is.
than what was in the control
Yeah.
room.
Yeah, you're able to find there is in fact medical facility on site to treat injuries that occur here.
I'll call Otmar's attention, Benji's attention, come look at this so we get multiple eyes on what the floor plan looks like.
I said I need to rest. And he closes his eyes.
South
All
will get up and look.
Wow, that's pretty cool, Mr. Ezra. I don't know how you figured that out, but that's impressive. Doesn't look like it's too far, does it?
No. As long as it's safe getting there, I think that's where we got to take Gideon.
Well, hopefully the suppression system stirred up everything that was here, and hopefully they're all outside swarming the ship still.
Well, I'd go look for it. I'm willing to do that for Mr. Gideon over there.
He doesn't have long. I think we gather our stuff and move out.
I'm not sure I feel totally safe leaving our new attendee with Gideon alone. Somebody's got to stay here and watch her for sure.
Otmar wakes up from his nap. You have to bring Gideon to the medical bay. That's how medical bays work.
I gotta have somebody. Well, then I guess we all move because there's no way I'm leaving her here unattended.
Yep. Gideon agrees, or Ezra agrees.
Can you tell me how far it is away from here?
I'll point down the screen to where we're at, and I'll point down the screen to where the medical bay is.
Yeah, it's not very far at all. You guys can probably make it there in a few minutes.
I'll go in one condition. Can I rest when we get there? Tired of all this moving around.
Mr. Otmar, I got something to make you relax. He pulls out a cigarette.
Gotta
Mr.
like
South
kid.
gave me these.
Hey, how did you get those?
Sorry, Mr. South, but well, it's a long story. I'm glad you're feeling good, though.
Feeling a whole lot better. Thanks, kid. Now, if like Otmar said, if only we could track down a lighter. South is going to reach. Would the acid on the ground be like, I guess, dissolving? I guess in a way.
It's become inert now.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find one on our travels. Let's head to that med bay. I'm sure they've got like a torch for cauterizing.
You want to see a cool trick? And Otmar grabs one of Aiko's papers and puts it on the end of the stun rod and tries to ignite it with the spark.
My citation.
Yeah, it starts a small little fire, and Dr. Volkov says, "What are you doing? You're gonna." Oh, never mind. On top of everything else, you want to burn this place down around us?
Smoke him if you got him.
South's going to finally light his cigarette that he had when he was shaking. It's crumpled up and bent up in his pocket now, though.
All right, I'll get one of Gideon's legs. Somebody else help me with the other.
South is going to reach over and grab the other leg.
Aiko's gonna walk over to Captain Lin and he's gonna kneel down. He's gonna say, "Now, I want a straight answer. You have a coffee maker on that ship?"
I drink tea personally, but there are some certain crew members who do drink coffee.
All right, after we get this Gideon stitched up, we're gonna go search that ship for supplies.
So, who is going exploring to find that medic bay?
Oh, I think we're all going, unless anybody's staying.
I'm glad to scout ahead.
We're going to try to bring everyone, including the captives, question mark?
Yeah, I think we move together as a group.
Is Benji still panicked?
No.
Were we resting for any period of time in that room?
For a turn, enough to clear your panic.
It's also
I
one
go-
hit point of recovery, I think, or one health point.
Does that
Aiko's
apply to
also-
androids too?
No, I think androids need to be repaired.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
Before we
It's-
head out, Aiko's gonna go over and grab the jacket off of Lisa, like her lab coat or whatever, and wrap it around Gideon's arm because like it's really gross to look at. It's more for his sake than for her than Gideon's.
It's taking all of Gideon's energy just to stay awake so he doesn't react at all.
All right. So you make your way into the plant further in. It is, for all you can tell, the insects have all left. Where they've gone or why, you're unsure. Perhaps they all exploded when they took the ship out. It's very possible. You find the medic station within this plant, and it is kind of overgrown. Clearly hasn't been used in many decades. But there are still some supplies about. And you can see Dr. Volkov, even though she's badly burned herself still, starts to take inventory of what is available. And she looks around and says, well, everything seems to be here that I require, but nothing here is... There are only a few sterile instruments, and this is clearly not a sterile environment. This is not ideal conditions. Gideon is your friend. You tell me if you would like me to operate on Gideon here, or if you'd rather take Gideon to a cleaner facility.
I don't think we really have time to take Gideon to a cleaner facility, Doc.
Sounds like a luxury we don't have.
It took me a week to walk here from the other ship.
Just gonna say, Mr. Otmar, I mean, I don't know the state of Jarvis out there, but I guess, I mean, we could try to make a run for it with Jarvis to head back. No,
Our
just an
best
idea.
chance is here. All of us. Gotta take a chance. We'll help you. We can use this kit. And he produces the medical kit.
He looks at it. Says, I'm sorry, Mr. Otmar, but Band-Aids are... your friend Gideon needs a little bit more than what that kit can provide. Gideon shall approach you. This is your life we're talking about. I feel you should have a say in the matter. I can help you. But as I mentioned, this place is not clean and you run a very high risk of infection should I try to treat you here.
I feel like Gideon, kind of also having at least a little bit of medical knowledge, knows that if they don't do it in a clean facility, there's risk of like infection and things. But he's also at the point where he's like, I really could not care right now. I'm so tired. So he just kind of mumbles under his breath, whatever works for you, and then just kind of passes out again.
All right.
Can Aiko help in any way?
She looks at you and says, no, you can leave.
Ezra's going to nudge Otmar and throw his head towards the door as if to say, step outside with me.
He does.
When we're outside of earshot, Ezra will look at Otmar and say, she sabotaged our ship. She's why we crash landed on your planet. And then I'll go back into the room.
Fuck.
When Ezra goes back into the room, or actually as we were walking to the med center, Ezra's going to observe Volkov and Lieutenant Lynn. I want to see
Captain Lynn.
Captain Lynn. I want to see if they have had any like knowing glances, or if they're in cahoots at all between them. I want to pick up on any kind of social cue that they knew each other in advance, or they have something going on between.
Go ahead and make an observation check for me. All right. They seem like complete and utter strangers. They are not really paying each other much attention.
All right, good to know. Shared the information with Otmar. Go back into the room. Get my trap shot. Not get involved in this decision for Gideon.
Dr. Volkov is still kind of standing there, looks around, says, you, as she points to you, Otmar. I think you were closest. You're closest to Gideon. Closest thing to a guardian, anyway. What is your opinion?
So, the way I see it, there's three choices. Go back to Baxter's Reach and into custody. Make our way for the ship. Pilot, what condition do you recall the medical bay was in on the ship?
adequate.
Do we have the vehicles, the jeeps, anything?
You still have jeeps.
I was thinking our only option was to hole up here, but maybe ship is a better option to move to. Gideon, what do you think?
I think that's smart. I'd rather not get fixed up than die of infection 2 days later.
Well, hold on. Now, we don't know if there's new company at our old ship. And if we go over there, we could all die instead of just Gideon.
This
And
is a
that includes
facility
me.
we control. That is one advantage, but it's filthy.
Coffee Stain McMocha has a point though. You know, like I do wonder if we go back there and we're having to fend off in our condition. I'm not sure we could pull it off. McMocha's got a good point.
Hey, pilot, can you do some Comtech mumbo jumbo to connect to the ship's security system?
From here, I tried. No external communications from this decrepit facility.
Fucking
you-
Comtech.
Did you try hard enough though?
Ezra shoots Benji a look.
I'm just saying, like, you look like an older model, you know, and maybe like technology's evolved, you know, and I'm young and maybe I could. Let me go have a look.
I was gonna whisper to Benji, yeah, he's a first-class model, lots of bugs in.
Ezra will look back at Benji and say, "You're grounded."
So much for flying, kid.
So much for flying, kid.
Um,
Benji's gonna look for a terminal.
All right.
Look, I think I can show you something. Come watch, Mr. Ezra. I can show you. It's a new
I will.
protocol.
I will. Is there any terminals in the med room?
Yeah, there is one.
All right. Yeah, if Benji sits down at one, I'll look over his shoulder.
God, watch this roll.
Can't be worse than 0 for 20.
Wow.
That's what
Let
I'm
me get on
talking
the
about.
computer. Has a panic attack immediately.
Are we sure Benji's not a synth?
What does Benji discover that causes him to freak out?
Yeah.
With 3 successes, you tap into things. What is Benji looking for specifically? First of all,
He's looking for signs from the other ship of activities that's safe. Can they? Is there any external signal that he can hack into to get a sense of what's going on in the other ship?
unfortunately, this facility doesn't have that kind of technology, that Comtech technology. However, you do find something else. You find some old footage of the facility before the power was shut off. And it seems to show what looks to be a hooded figure placing one of those circular egg-like things in the subfloor, in the basement.
Ezra will pat Benji on the shoulder without saying it.
I don't know what I just saw. It's not what I was trying to see, Mr. Ezra. He's freaking out.
History lesson, kid.
Right. So, Dr. Volkov says, it's all fascinating, but we have a very ill patient here. What's the decision?
How long would it take me to get in one of the Jeeps and drive to the
Back to Baxter's Reach?
just to the ship, the old ship?
Oh well, they're pretty close to each other.
Okay.
So, you probably have maybe 8 hours before Gideon expires. So you'd have enough time to get Gideon back.
How long? How many hours to get to the ship?
From here, you guys drove pretty much 8. I think you drove 8 hours to get out here, so it'll be 8 hours back.
Oh, so then we wouldn't have time.
So it's 8 hours to get to the ship or Baxter's Reach.
About the same. They're very close to
Okay.
each other. Yeah.
And Gideon has 8 hours to live. Yeah.
No, Gideon has 24 hours to live.
Okay.
Well, y'all could ride behind me if we decide to take the Jeeps. I could take maybe me, Ezra, and somebody else, maybe.
Hold up. Dr. Volkov. What is the actual risk here? Give me the odds here. Are we talking 1 in 10, 1 in 100? What are the odds that something bad's going to happen if we do it here?
A very high likelihood that Gideon will be infected. And given what we found here,
All right. Before we go riding off to our deaths, how about we check the ship out first? There might be a salvageable med bay in there.
I'm going back to sleep.
Isn't the ship still covered with poppers?
I didn't hear anything when I walked somewhat closer to it.
When you were
Okay.
running away?
I was scouting the area after I ordered you all to follow me.
Right, Latte McFrapstain. So I'm thinking maybe we've got to. I think we should. Let's get back there. Is there an adult here? Am I the adult? Who's going to decide what we're doing? Is there an adult among us? If not, I'm making the call, and I think we should just get in a Jeep and go.
Can I make a command roll and be like, look, we're going and checking the ship out first?
Why would we listen to you? You're the one who's consistently run away.
Seth is gonna. Good, sorry.
And you told those Callum folks to go and check out that crazy shit, and they got us in the first place.
She wanted to write a paper.
What kind of excuse is that?
Look, what's done is done. And while he's talking, by the way, not that he's disinterested, but actually Benji's comments about his stained shirt is really bugging him. And while he's in the med bay area, he's actually looking for something that can function as some sort of detergent to get his coffee stain out of his shirt. Does he find anything? So like while he's talking to these guys, he's kind of like going through and like looking at like random bottles.
right. Go ahead and make an observation check.
Right. Observation.
Oh my gosh, all those stress dice.
What you get?
You got no successes of all that dice. All right.
Oh man.
He's twitching because of the anxiety.
And everyone else's stress goes up as a result by 1 point.
Damn it.
You see him like throwing things on the ground, looking at the label. Just
I think Benji's right. I'd rather not die 3 days later of an infection.
Chill
Dr.
out,
Volkov.
Espresso Explosion. We've got to get out of here.
Isn't the problem that we can't all fit on the Jeep?
What about Jarvis?
We could ride Jarvis. I don't think any of the others are good for it.
Gideon, in your state, you cannot ride Jarvis.
That's
Yeah,
true.
No
True.
offense. I can't even stand up. Ain't no way I'm sitting on him.
I'm going to have to take him solo wherever we go, so I may be trailing behind. All the more reason for me to get some shut-eye now.
There's 2 Jeeps, or is there just 1 Jeep?
There were 2.
2. Load Gideon up in 1 Jeep.
You
I'll
all
drive the
take
Jeep
the Jeep.
ahead,
Yeah.
and we'll scout it out.
I'll bring Jarvis half an hour behind you.
I don't mind driving. I'm pretty good at it.
swear to God, I am on my deathbed. I'm not about to die in a car crash because of you. I love you, Benji, but absolutely not. If anything, you don't mind beating the shit out of Aiko for me. I can't feel my fingers.
I don't have to beat him up.
Put
I
his
just gotta call him coffee names.
Aiko's gonna put his hand on Gideon and ask Dr. Volkov, "Do you have any pain meds or anything?"
Ow, ow, ow.
Yes. I'll give Gideon some pain suppressants, but is that the decision then?
I'm talking about for me. I've got a killer headache.
Ezra will speak up and say, "Do you have any hemorrhoid cream?"
I don't have any hemorrhoid cream. Listen, you have one of your friends is dying out. Has the decision been made? Are we going back to Baxter's Reach, like any sane person would, to save their friend?
More of an employee.
I guess.
Point.
Benji's already getting in a Jeep.
I feel
Trying to
so
hotwire
loved, guys.
Otmar will help load Gideon into the Jeep. I need to rest, but I'll be right behind you.
All right.
You did good, kid.
I can drive one of the vehicles if you want. Actually, what's the driving for it? Is it
Piloting.
Wouldn't Ezra
Never mind. Yeah, no.
be a
I'll look
good
at
Ezra.
Ezra?
Yeah.
You driving this one with Gideon? Mind the bumps now.
Ezra doesn't speak. He just gets in the driver's seat. He likes taking orders from Otmar. He has good ideas. Not worth arguing with.
All right. So Otmar, you're taking Jarvis. Ezra, you're taking Gideon in your Jeep. Who's driving the other one?
I guess
Mr.
I'll
South,
drive
I
the
think
other
I should drive.
No.
Oh,
No, kid.
Mr. South,
Boulder incident.
but,
Kid, you
all
did
right.
good. You did good.
Gideon?
Just maybe we get you
But-
some driver's lessons. Maybe we get you a
Gideon?
permit. You
But
know?
With my dying wish, don't drive the car.
How would I get better if I don't? All right, fine. I'll observe.
In 2 years, maybe we'll sit down and practice, but not right now.
Fine.
Look, kid, we'll get you your permit. I'll let you drive. No questions asked.
Here's a long time.
Gideon.
Not so long here, kid.
Aiko's gonna whisper to Benji, "If you can get us off this planet, I'll get you a license to drive any vehicle you want, kid."
Are you bribing him again?
He's an adult. We're having adult negotiations.
All right. So who's in Ezra's Jeep with Gideon? You still have a few passengers here to divvy up.
I think it makes sense to send Captain Lin and
Yeah.
Dr. Irina together, put all the injured and the doctor together.
And that's in the
Okay.
trailing vehicle, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was going to say put the captain in my vehicle just in case there is cooperative at the ship. I have a bargaining chip.
Okay.
Interesting.
As long as Alex doesn't come with us, I'm fine.
All right. There's too many people in this Jeep. One of you guys have to go to the other one.
It's got to be Alex. He could just sit stoically
Swear to
watching
God.
you die.
Swear to God. I swear to God.
All right. All right. So
I
that's how you
want
guys.
to know what conversation or thoughts go on between those two.
All right. So you guys forego taking a rest at the.
We have
Plant.
not had a rest.
Otmar is definitely resting at the place. 100%. Everybody else is leaving.
All right.
Otmar
So-
takes a nap before leaving.
We checked it out. It's fine.
All right. So you guys all load up into your Jeeps, and you start making your way back towards Baxter's Reach to get Gideon some much-needed medical attention. Otmar, you hang back. You see your friends driving off in the distance, and you're about to head back inside for your little nap. Can you please make an observation check for me, please?
Uh-oh.
Oh, whew.
Mm.
As you're about to duck inside, something catches your your attention from the corner of your eye, and you look up on a little ridge that the grassland kind of climbs up onto. There's a clear patch at the top, and you see standing there, watching you, a hooded figure, who then disappears behind the ridge. And that's where we'll end.